funds, make sure that you, the person, is visible. The second one for me is, do you have a vision or a philosophy of how you drive things? Because it's important. Are you going to create this company, sell it off? A valuation mindset is of one kind. I am not very fond of that one. There are others who do like it. Personally, for me, are you a long-term player? If you have a vision, why is that vision important for you? What is it that makes you feel that I want to make this happen? If I don't understand that, it's not something that I am keen to go forward with. Do you have the technical know-how around it? What is your capability? What pushes you forward? So, for example, there's a very interesting company I'm involved with. It's called, they infuse copper into a lot of materials. And Dr. Anusia, she'd done her research in Delhi, and during COVID, she had infused copper into the masks and things like that. Of course, that's not a very financially viable one for a long term. So she's now branched out into B2B kind of product lines. But it's a fascinating, it has technology, it has depth of capability, but she has a vision for transforming and protecting using that technology. The third element which I look at is, what is your idea? Is it a problem or an opportunity that you're trying to solve? Now, if you're going to, is there an idea that others are trying to solve? Is it big enough? Is it relevant enough? Quite often when you do mentoring, you find people with ideas which are, to my mind, yes, maybe it's good, maybe it'll make money if your appetite for it is fairly within limits, but it's not going to make you really push through and drive to scale. So think through what kind of idea and opportunity you're going after. That ties back to your philosophy. I want a small going business that has 80% profitability, and maybe that's your niche, and that's fine. But if you're really looking for something different, then you need to think through, what does that idea really help you with? Just because you think it's a problem, is it good enough from a commercial perspective? The other bit is the solution. And this becomes kind of quite interesting for me, because sometimes you need the experts to kick the tires to tell you it's not a working idea. One of the organizations we are mentoring is for a company which has done 7 years of research in Indian Institute of Science. It is for, let's say, people who have had an accident or the aging. It's a mechanical way to sit up and stand. So it's in the chair. It helps you. It doesn't use electronics. And they're constantly refining that competence and capability. Fantastic. Price point of that right now is quite high. So can I afford to buy it for my mother? Maybe I can. But I may not be able to buy it. For most of the middle class, it is out of reach. So they're planning to use it in the physiotherapy locations and the like. But the reality is, commercializing to scale means you have to look at a solution that's cost effective for the target audience or the customer that you're going after, which is where the customer persona becomes very fascinating. The other day, I think two of us were reviewing another startup. And if you are a fan of science fiction, you'll love this. They use phogoponics. Many of us may have heard of hydroponics, which uses very little water. But phogoponics uses only 5% of the water that a hydroponic thing uses. Fascinating. Immediately my thought went into, space. They can use it for colonization and the likes of it. And given the fact that we're in Bangalore, space tech is evolving, you think that's the space to go. But that young man was very smart. All of us live in fairly, you live in an apartment, wherever it is. He's created these little pods, which can be 5,000 to 25,000 or something. It goes up to this. You can grow your own blueberries. Everyone talks about superfood blueberries. So he's found a niche market for a very interesting technology, maybe in the next 5-10 years, when the need arises in the space side, he can pivot into that. But at this point, he's got a commercial, viable proposition that's already out there. And that's what is your product market fit, making sense. Are you likely to make money with that? And I think that's one of the biggest things that we all look for when we're looking at, do they have a good idea? And sometimes the idea may be fantastic, but they haven't got a commercial lens to that idea. Funding, especially in the pre-revenue and early revenue, which is typically angel, you need to think about how do you position it. A lot of people go after grants, and that's good. But you equally need to think about, is it going to be commercially making sense? So don't underestimate how you position yourself on that. I touched a little bit on the customer segment. Pricing is absolutely vital. Understand your customer, understand the price point at which they will use or leverage your product. And sometimes you see solutions which don't match. But and you have the private sector like Geo, which has got a very Indian sensibility, but partnering internationally. Or you have ISRO, which is taking the lead. But overall, if I was sitting in, I'm just making up a country, let's say Thailand, would I look to India to do transformation vision exercise, or will I just go to the usual the big four and the likes of it, many of the Western firms? In India, I've done that. At which point are we going to create companies which will be the first port of call for transformation across the world? When we get to that, then we are truly the thought leaders. At this point, we are like the startups. Amazing successes with a few of them. We have maximum number of unicorns from the city. So we got true success. So India is in that space. We've got amazing success. But we've got a long way to go, and you guys are the ones who can make it happen. So wish you all the very best.